All right. Good morning, brothers and sisters. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, brothers and sisters all over the world. Kakas and dadas and dadas and kakas all over the world. Habariza Sabui, Habariza Mchana, Habariza Gioni, brothers and sisters all over the world. All right, the name of this channel is The African Times, and I'm Thomas. All right, everybody. Today is an episode of The Rise and Shine. Good, good episode. I'm excited about it. For those of you who are new to the channel, the name of the channel is The African Times, and I'm Thomas. And we talk about a variety of topics affecting our daily lives and try to bring an economic perspective to those topics. Today, we're going to talk about women, but a specific group of women, which in most cases, all women fall into this category eventually. So we'll jump right in. It's dealing with family, and we all are one big family. We're one people and one big family. So today we're going to talk about aunties. Yeah, aunties. Everybody has one, for the most part. For me, I'm gonna talk about, that auntie that everybody has. You know, that auntie you all remember. The one you all remember. She was always around, right? Yeah. She didn't do much for you. She didn't, and when I say do much, she didn't have a lot of money. She didn't give you a lot of things. She didn't do that. In fact, she probably didn't give you anything of material value. Money, toys, things of that nature. When you were little, that auntie is the one we're talking about. You know, you probably, if you think about that auntie, you probably can't even remember if she ever gave you anything. But sometimes she'd give you some good food, right? She'd give you some good food. You might have even had a favorite food, a favorite item. Maybe she made you she would always make a good cake or a good pie, or maybe her greens were good. Maybe on Thanksgiving she always had the best sweet potato pie. I'm talking about that auntie. I'm talking about that one. That woman in your life, she wasn't your mother. She wasn't your mother, but she could have been your mother because how she treated you. She treated you like you were her own. Maybe she had children, maybe she didn't. But even if she did have children, you felt like you were just like one of her own children. She'd tear you behind up too. You did something wrong that wasn't good, then she was going to deal with you in a way that disciplined you and taught you well. But even after getting your butt tore up, you knew she did it because she loved you, and she wanted to make sure that you were going to be okay. We're talking about that auntie. Yeah, that one. Now, it's very interesting about that auntie because that auntie, there was always something about her, you know? Now, when you were a little kid, you didn't know what it was. But you knew it was something. What it was, you couldn't quite put your finger on it, but there was something special about that auntie. Something special that Even as a little kid, that made you go, yeah, I love her though. Yeah, she might be quirky. She might, you know, might not, do everything right. Maybe some days she wasn't looking her best. Some days she was looking great. But it didn't really matter. You knew it was something about her. You could feel it. And the whole bottom line is you just knew that auntie, you loved that auntie. You loved her because you could feel the love that she had for you. That woman is the one we're talking about. And like I said, most of us, we have that woman in our lives. Again, not your mama, not your mama, but she was tight with your mama. She was tight with your mama. Even if your mother, which is her sister, even if they had those family fallouts that happen every now and then between an auntie, they get on each other's nerves. Something happen, girl, I remember you said this, and I don't know why you said it. And then later they sitting down eating something together, talking with each other, laughing and joking. You running around, playing, and you see your auntie and your mama together, and you just saw them fighting and arguing and all of that. But then now they together laughing and joking and playing cards. That auntie. That's the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about her today because I don't think you should wait till the person is no longer here for you to tell them you love them, you appreciate them, you recognize the impact that they had on your life, the impact of shaping who you are. That auntie, that's the one I'm talking about. So, today, that auntie for me, that auntie, that special lady in my life, aside from my mother, that auntie for me is Auntie Brent. Well, listen, I'm laughing because I wasn't going to say her name, but those of us in the world alive who know her, you need to know how good she was, how wonderful she was, and if you know her, you know she's a good person, wonderful person, just good person. And in the twilight of her life, uh, we need to acknowledge and let her know, because she won't know unless you tell her the impact that she had now on our lives. Now, so I did say her name, and I hope she understands. But the whole world, y'all don't know her, so she's protected in that way. But uh, I love her, and I just want the whole world to know how good of a person she was and how much of an impact she had in my life. And many of you have aunties like that, and tell them today. Stop, tell them, just call them up. Call them up and tell them you appreciate what they did and you understand that you are who you are today because they were who they were back then. You got to tell them. Don't wait until you know you can't tell them. Don't do that. So I just wanted her to know, and I wanted all of you to know uh, how how wonderful it was to grow up as a child and have an auntie like that in your corner and support you. She supported me at everything I did. She came to all my events. Anything I tried to do, she came. She was supportive. There was never a doubt in my mind. In any way she could help, she would. And that's more important than any kind of monetary value, any material thing that you can been given by anyone. So she represents, and this video represents um, a life of work in the role of an aunt in support of a nephew. Uh, she represents that for all of you women out there who you got your nieces and nephews and you love them and you support them like that. So she represents that, and I want her to know that I recognize it, and I want all of you to know that all of you who are doing that for those little kids, they represent that. Um, and we got to keep doing that. Those of you who are close and able to be in the lives and be involved in the lives of your children to the extent that it has a great impact on them, nieces and nephews. So, women all over the world, brothers and sisters, women all over the world, particularly those that look like me and you, thank you. Thank you for being that auntie that we all remember and love. Thank you, and I salute you today. I just had to tell you, okay? All right. Thank you from a nephew who was loved and nurtured and supported by one of our good sisters and Auntie Brent. Thank you. I love you all. Uhuru. Uhuru. Uhuru.